Okay, so today I will be showing you guys how this is done. We'll create this entire scene in Photoshop and I'll show you this step by step. I'll show you how the foreground, how these buildings, mountains, the sky, the lighting, and everything. I'll show you exactly how it's done. It's a quick demonstration, but it's very easy to follow along. So let's get started. Yeah, so we create a new file, 1920 by 1080. That's what we do first. Then we place the sky background, the object as we're going, the sky background, sorry, the sky background. Okay, so I'm looking for it. Okay, yes. So we place the sky background and fill the entire scene with it. Good. Now that we fill the scene, we name it background. Now we look for the foreground. All these are in the description, guys. All these items are in the link in the description. So just go there and get it. Yes, so we get the foreground and we match it to the background. But first, let's use the polygon pen tool and cut out the landscape and remove the background. Good. Now we bring it down and place it in line with the horizon. Now we use the mask tool, the clone mask tool, and erase this human being placed here. Now we change the foreground and match the color of the background using the match color tool. You see, it gets darker. It blends in with the background. And we place the mountain ranges. So let me look for them. Okay, yes, here we have the mountain ranges. We'll just cut out the mountains using the polygon pen tool. And oh, guys, to place a mask on the polygon on the object, after you cut it out with the polygon pen tool, you just click on the mask tool on the bottom. That's how I get to cut out all the other images. Instead of erasing it, we'll just use the mask tool. That's much more quicker. So you'll just watch and see what I do. Good. So just click at the bottom, mask tool, boom. All the background is out and just the mountains remain. Now we just feather it and we place it in the background by the horizon line. Yes, so it's placed. Then I'll copy it, place another one. Yeah, right now I'm just trying to fix these mountains, trying to get a nice view. I'm trying to see where to place it. I want the moon or to be in the center between these two mountains. I want the mountains to form like a V so it could look kind of uniform. Then I'm going to duplicate the next mountain. Yeah, I think I might work with that for now. Put it in a group, call it mountains, and now let's look for something else. We're going to place the soldiers into the scene. Well, yeah. Well, we first have to match the color first. But we have to retirize all these layers. So you go to match color for each mountain and blend it with the background. So it looks like if it's all in one scene and doesn't have different lighting. We go again and we blend it. See, we blend the mountains. Now we use the clone stamp tool and we will erase all these snowish, whitish looking things on the mountains. The reason why I want it to be removed because the scene I'm doing is not really a snow scene, so the snow is irrelevant. So I'm just going to take that out. Yeah, so we just mask out everything. All the white snow. Yep. And now we add a curves layer and we clip it to the mountains, or we make it lighter, so it can show distance, make it look like if the mountains are farther away and not too close. Yeah. And now we add a fog layer, and that's going to be placed below the mountains to give it this foggy kind of look. Like, give it a moody kind of scene. Good. So now we just slightly erase some parts to give it some noise to make it look more realistic and less dense, like a slight fog. Good. So now we will place the soldiers into the scene, and we will cut them out using the magic wand tool. Yeah, so just decrease the size of the brush and cut them out. Yeah, this takes time, so make sure you take your time and just cut out the soldiers. Masking is much quicker than erasing. Erasing takes some time, and it's a very tedious process. Masking is much quicker than erasing. So let's just mask out the areas that we want. Yeah, so we mask until we get everything. Until we get the gun. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but once it's readable and blends with the scene, that's good enough. It doesn't have to be super perfect, just something that blends with the scene. Good, so now let's raterize it that we match color to the background, and that's what we get. It blends in really nice. It looks really good. Now we'll add another layer and call this light. That is going to be light emitting from the moon. So we have some rays coming down also, just to give it some more realism, like if there's actual light coming from the moon. Good, so we have this light coming down, and it's going to shine onto the foreground. So after this, we just carry down the opacity, and we'll add a layer, call it light rays. And we're going to use the brush tool on a slight sky bluish kind of color, and just put it above all layers and just draw some light rays to give it some more realism. Then we change the outer glow and give it a sky blue kind of color. Make it more glowy, like if it's bloom effect, like light, Then we use the eraser tool, slightly erase, give it like a noise effect, just erase some parts. Some parts will have less dense light than other parts, just to give it this kind of effect. Not too noticeable, but it's okay. And then we'll use the color dodge tool and darken areas that are backing the light, because areas that are backing the light will always be darker than areas facing the light. So the areas that are backing the light needs to be darker. So we'll make area darker, and we'll make the back of the head needs to be bright, because that is where the light will be hitting. So we won't be touching the back, we'll only brighten it. Oh, and guys, to make something darker with the dodge tool, we press Alt and draw with the dodge tool. To make it brighter, you just use the dodge tool without anything, just draw with it. Yeah, only their backs will be lit, but their fronts will be dark, and their edges will be lit. Yeah, because light will be bleeding from their edges. Yeah. We're just trying to make it a little more realistic. Yeah. And for the mountains, I think I'll duplicate another layer called a mountain layer. Sorry, what am I doing? That's not going to work. Delete that. We're going to duplicate a mountain. That's what we're going to do. We can duplicate a mountain and drag it just to cover that annoying line in the center. It makes the artwork look fake. Yes, just put it there just to get rid of that annoying line. Just blend it in. Yes. And we're just going to use the clone stamp tool and take out these snowy edges. Good. Now we have our basic scene. Now we're going to add in buildings. This is like an abandoned looking building. I got it from the internet. It was made in Unreal Engine. So we'll be cutting this out. This Unreal Engine 3-dimensional building that was created on the computer by someone. Anyway, yeah, let's just create it. Now we'll use the eraser tool and just erase these annoying parts. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just slightly erase it. Yeah, just erase some parts, the annoying parts. And just drag it down and try to blend it into the scene. Try to make it as real as possible. You can't put it too small or else it's going to look too fake. And when you're doing this, the bigger the object, the closer it is, and the smaller the object, the farther it is away from the camera. That's one rule in perspective. And now we'll match the color. We'll change it in the same lighting as the background, and here we are. It looks quite good. Good. Are we going somewhere? Now, I'd like to add a light inside that door, like some light coming out of the door. So I'm going to draw a mask around the door opening. So we can have this strange red light coming out of the door. Yeah. Good. Then I'll add a lens flare. Oh no, not that. Sorry. Good. Now that I create that, I'll create another layer. Call it light. Good. Now you just use a lens flare, the red, card up to 114. Use a color dodge effect, and we're gonna mask it onto the lights. Yeah. Use control click the light and control click the mask, and that's what we gonna get. Yeah, so just trying to fix this light so it can fit perfectly. Why is it not showing? Oh, I have to delete. Sorry, I have to hide the mask layer, the black layer inside of this. Okay, not bad. Yeah. Good. So now add a color balance and make it a little bit red. Yeah. Good. Now I'm gonna add another layer. I'm gonna call this red lights or you can call it like red light rays or something, because the light has to shine from the room, because right now it doesn't look realistic. Light shines, light moves in a direction, so we have to make the light shine out of the room, out of the door, so it looks a bit more realistic. Yeah. And it has to shine a bit onto the soldiers also. Yeah, so I have to carry it above the soldiers layer. I let it shine a bit on them. You know, yeah, it has to shine right there. Yeah. Yeah, just shine. I'll use the eraser tool and just slightly erase some edges so it doesn't look too fake. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we're getting somewhere. We just, yeah, so you see the red light is shining out of the door. Like if there's some mystical, I don't know, alien or some treasure somewhere in there, and it's just shining some evil thing. I don't know. Just being creative. Okay, so now we will get these other buildings and just mask it out. Yeah. And we're going to fit it into the scene. Carry it all the way back. We're going to make it a little more bigger also. Yeah, just to fit the scene perfectly. I'm just trying to see where to position it. Yeah, this looks okay. Now we go to adjustment. Sorry, rasterize the layer. We go to adjustment, match color, change it to background or with blends. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, don't forget the images of these things are in the link in the description. All these images. So you just download it and you can follow along. You can also be your own creative. You can also try and do different styles. You don't have to be exactly like how I'm doing it. Instead of using blue lights coming from the moon, you can use orange. Instead of red lights coming from the door, you can use green. It's your choice, but this is just an example of me showing you what to do. Good. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else. Let us see what else to add. Okay, let's add another fog layer. There's going to be gas fog. There's going to be like green, some green gas in the foreground and some parts of the background. There's going to be some kind of green gas, like, you know, I don't know, some alien was here or something. Yeah, green gas. Now we're just going to, you know, just green a gas. Now you're going to slightly erase some areas so it doesn't look too dense in some areas, you know, give it some noise effect. Yeah. Yeah. Then use a photo filter. We'll use the color cooling filter. That gives it the bluish looking effect. The cooling filter. Yeah. Now we're using one layer. To put that in one layer, what I did to do that was Shift Alt, Control Alt Shift and E. And now we use the camera raw filter. And we'll just tweak some settings. And just to make it a little more presentable, so we're just tweaking some settings. Okay, just carry down the shadows a bit, the whites a bit up, blacks a bit down, clarity up a bit, vibrance up, saturation up, and that is it. Oh, shadows. I forgot to draw shadows on the feet because when light hits, it forms a shadow. So after drawing the shadows of the soldiers and the shadows of that building over there because it needs some shadows. Yeah, just some slight shadows. Yes, guys, so this is it. And thank you for watching this short video. And I hope you subscribe and like and share. So I'll be providing more content for you to see soon. Thank you. Peace.